can you Adam and Eve it? Welcome to Watch Mojo UK, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 hardest UK accents to imitate.
When I was there and I really needed to go to the toilet, I was thinking, our tribe, I wonder what their toilet facilities are like, right?
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we have focused on core UK accents that can prove particularly awkward to copy. So, clear your throat, warm up those vocal cords, and let's see how many of these regional wonders you can recreate.
Am I right? What have you happened today what you're doing? Robbing people, robbing them of stuff that's important to them?
Number 10. Cockney.
This job is bigger than anything Bridge has done up until now.
With the sheer size of London, it's no surprise that the city boasts multiple accents. But none are quite as famous or as difficult to master as good old Cockney. Everyone recognises how it sounds, and most can copy a few key phrases, although the rhyming slang does confuse the issue for some.
Alright, you're not doing it the way he speaks.
But Dick Van Dyke's infamous portrayal of Bert in Mary Poppins proves that Cockney isn't exactly easy to grasp.
Alright, I'll do it myself.
Number 9. Mancunian.
These things I want, I can't have, I do without.
It's not usually listed as a particularly prominent UK accent, but it is difficult to do right. Thanks to a barrage of popular comedians, entertainers, and a certain Britpop band, the Manc accent has become much more well known.
That's what it's about, you know what I mean? It's like everyone's a bit square at the moment, aren't they? You know what I mean? Everyone's just a bit serious and miserable, you know what I mean?
In fact, if you did want to try and add it to your own intonation, you could do worse than to listen to a back catalogue of British rock music for inspiration. Or just watch a few episodes of Corrie.
Perhaps I should stretch out on the couch and we could do this properly.
Number 8. Ulster English.
You know, you live in your little bubble here behind your wall with your maids, chauffeurs and servants.
Everyone loves a good Irish accent, but there's so many variations that it can be tricky to separate them. And Ulster English brings a whole new dialect on top of a very distinct tone of speaking. And because it's so distinct, it's immediately obvious whenever it's done badly.
Are a very particular set of skills. Skills I've acquired over a very long career.
The unpracticed will often find themselves slipping into other accents, and generally getting more and more frustrated.
Has his sudden tragic death interrupted your studies?
That's a bit actually, yeah.
Number 7. West Country.
Right.
What did he say?
Our next entry touches on various regional twangs, each as difficult as the next to recreate. From Bristol to Cornwall, these accents are actually widely used on TV, especially by some of our favourite comics.
I said 5 minutes, but nothing. Women like you are the reason this chicken's late in the first place. You'll be lucky if you get any of my lovely chicken if you keep up this kind of behaviour.
Stereotypically, the West Country ramble is obviously associated with farmers, but it's not all hayfields and combine harvesters. The hard-hitting crime drama Broadchurch also puts the accent onto primetime telly.
I love you very much. And if you remember that smile, give it a go for me, would you?
Number 6. Scouse.
Where's me coffee cup with the mould in it? I threw it away, sir. But I was breeding that mould.
As one of the most recognisable British accents, the Liverpool tone is also one of the most often imitated, but that doesn't make it any easier to copy.
I just think we should go to the toilet.
Another favourite for TV comedians, there are famous Liverpudlians throughout British popular culture, so there are plenty of examples of how it should sound, from Paul McCartney to Steven Gerrard.
You know, we didn't know anything about any of that, so we got ripped off, but
Harry Enfield is still a standout resource for anyone who's not from the city.
What's going on here?
Number 5. Glaswegian.
Alright, mate. Alright.
Trying to nail a generic Scottish accent can be challenging enough, so throw in regional deviations and it's even more complex.
No, it's cool. You keep it. I don't want it. Yeah.
At best, most people channel Mel Gibson by shouting freedom as loud as they can, but anything else and it all goes a wee bit wrong, and a bit groundskeeper Willie. Still, at least there's a long list of famous Glaswegians to study for this particular sound, including the controversial comic Frankie Boyle and the 12th Doctor Peter Capaldi.
Get it into your head. Yes. Rewind today in your head.
Yes. Okay, stop explaining it to me.
Number 4. Received pronunciation.
Wallace is not just some woman I'm carrying on with. We intend to marry.
Closely linked to Queen's English, received pronunciation is arguably the most stereotypically, quintessentially British accent of all, even though it's rarer than a lot of today's other entries. To your average Brit, it's essentially labelled as a posh accent, supposedly in line with how the royal family speaks, and it's typically associated with the south of England.
Well then,
Let's not overcomplicate matters unnecessarily.
Often a go-to tone whenever American shows include a British scene, it usually takes professional training to get it just so. Number 3, Birmingham.
I said next time you'll come back and talk, you'll be a talking guest instead of a singing guest.
Oh.
Right?
When's that, next week?
An accent with the unfortunate distinction of having previously been rated as Britain's least intelligent, the Birmingham or Brummie sound seems to be constantly copied. But anyone who tries to feign it usually falls short. In fact, the accent is so difficult to understand that when Birmingham City Council set up an automated phone service, even it couldn't comprehend the local inflection at first.
Okay, the date said she was pregnant the same time she was pregnant. I don't think so. And I don't know how she can get pregnant anyway with your little...
However, with shows like Peaky Blinders pulling in massive audiences, opinions could soon start to change.
You're a good man. And a good soldier.
Number 2, Welsh.
What the bloody hell is this? Don't tell me this is meant to be me.
It's another that can split into lots of local variations, but for anyone who's not from Wales, most Welsh accents are almost unfathomable.
I've never seen the human condition illuminated in such a way.
With vowel sounds unlike anywhere else, general Welsh languages and dialects seem an ongoing fascination for the rest of Britain and the rest of the world. Naturally, that interest leads to lots of, mostly unsuccessful, attempts to imitate the Welsh way of speaking. But even if you do perfect the accent, pronouncing the place names is a whole new challenge.
Just up the road from Llanfair to Pwllgwyn, gallwch go Gerrig Windrobwll, Llantysilio go go goch. The temperature got to 21 Celsius, that's 70 in Fahrenheit.
Number 1, Geordie.
Sometimes it's difficult to understand the Geordie people.
You know, what I reckon is that if they had themselves proper jobs, they wouldn't be up to all this, larking every night.
What?
Newcastle, a city famous for Ant and Dec, Alan Shearer, and for having its own reality TV show. It's no wonder that the Northeast accent has become so popular, or so synonymous with the UK.
They make a canny noise like. I beg your pardon?
But while it's often considered as one of Britain's friendliest accents, it's not the easiest to get to grips with. For anyone who's trying to forge it, it's usually the case of a few cannies here, a tune or two there, and a why man to finish. But true Geordies will spot the copycat a mile off.
It better not be no like last week, me cracker's still burning! Alright, this week we will be doing our new pet!
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from Watch Mojo UK and subscribe for more great content.